Wow. My head is spinning. I think I said that before. I'll say it again. My head's spinning. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about this? Can you see that? I know you can. All right, well, I guess we're live. I have absolutely been running crazy. Oh, hello, someone said hi. Let's see if we can get that up there on the screen. Alley Mexicans. Hello there. How are you? Let's see if we can get that on the screen. I'm a beginner, so I'm still learning. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in tonight on Shop Talk. I have a few things to go over. I wonder if I can figure out how to do that. Okay. I remember you, young man. I saw you at Five Guys. I remember that. I don't know your name, and I'm not sure if I can go off of that by your username. Can you tell me what your name is? I would appreciate that. And we will get started here. I was trying to wait and see if anybody else shows up. And I know that you saw my Corvette. Have you been watching my channel? And did you see that I got another car? When you get a chance, maybe answer that question. And if it is, if you have, what car did I get? Would be interested to know if you're watching. Okay, so we have Sebastian. Thanks for joining in, Sebastian. I would really like to try to get to figure out how to put this comment up on the screen, but I don't know if I can. I think I'll figure it out. You know, what'll happen is I'll figure it out after the show's over with, but I'm hoping to kind of stick around a little bit and find out if some other people might show up. And see what's going on. What kind of car do you have, Sebastian? If I'm not mistaken, when I met you at Five Guys, you were jumping into the back of a minivan, if I remember right. So what kind of car do you have? If you don't have one, seems like you might have been a fairly young man. What is your dream car, Sebastian? That would be cool if you would tell me what that is. And if anybody on here knows how I can put his comment up on the screen, that would be fantastic. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, just hanging out. Like, literally, you guys aren't going to believe this, but I walked in my door, about 15 minutes ago. So it seems like the more I work days, the busier we get and the less time I have to do things. All right, so Sebastian answered my question. He wants a Dodge Viper ACR. I've seen plenty of those around. They're very cool. Anyway, so I guess I probably should pull up my notes. Again, I've had so much stuff going on that I have literally not had any chance to keep up on a whole lot. I was going to wear my my hat in here for you so you guys could see what I look like when I'm working, because I drive a semi and I deliver steel, and you guys all know it's been really cold and snowy up here in the Fort Wayne area, and I'm not really enjoying that too much. And honestly, it wears me out. Like, it really does wear me out. And anyway, I got so busy that I didn't even bring my hat upstairs with me. So you're stuck with me and my MusicMan's garage hat. By the way, I have those for sale. I do have a few of them left. And the one that I have on is basically I've only had 2 of those made, and they are stitched. I wear one of them at work. It's gray. It's pretty worn out already. And then this is the other hat I have. One of my neighbors makes it for me. Again, it's, my show is MusicMan's, or my channel is MusicMan's Garage. And if you look real close, you can see way up here the Chevy emblem, because I'm a Chevy guy. And then, of course, the piano. I think it really suits, who I am. MusicMan's Garage. And from this view, you can see my piano, or maybe you can't because of the mic. That's my Nord grand piano. So anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started on the show. Now, I do have a couple things that I want to mention on here, because I'm trying to build up my, I have some sponsorships, and I'm trying to, build that up a little bit. So the software that I use when I do my live show is Ecamm Live. I love their platform. They have several different, things that I like about them. You can throw little banners like that in, and then of course, we can go and I can share my screen with you, which I'm getting ready to do here in a couple minutes. And if you watch my show at all, you'll know that I love doing some of that stuff. So anyway, welcome to Shop Talk, and let's go ahead and get started on a few things that I want to talk about. Again, as you know, it's winter, and we have a lot of nasty weather, and those of us that have collector cars, they're in the garage, and we walk by them every day, and we wish that we could drive them, but they're collector cars, and that's not what we do to collector cars. And if you bear with me, I'm looking for something for you to show you real quick, and I don't know if I can or not. I hope I didn't throw that away. I might have thrown that away. I might have. Let's go ahead and pan through these quicker. I think I did, man. I can't believe I threw that away. All right, I guess I won't show you that. So, anyway, let's get back to the show. So I have good news, as most of you know. In November, I traded my Camaro in on a Corvette. And here's a picture of my Camaro. Let me do this and pull in the screen share. This is the 2023 SS 1LE Camaro that I called Sick 1LE. And the car that I traded it in for is the Corvette, obviously, the 2015 C7. And the dealership had this car, the Camaro, for a little while. And I just found out that a young man down by Indianapolis bought it, and it's so cool because the dealership told him about my, my channel that I do YouTube. I believe they told him. I guess they did. Anyway, some way or another, we found each other on the internet, on Facebook, and I sent him the information that he needed to try to understand what all I've done to this car, the modifications that I did last March. And so I just wanted to basically say congratulations, Josh, from the north side of Indianapolis. You're going to love this car. I know I did. I had a blast with it. And I did a lot of things to it. Drove it. I bought it to drive it, and that's exactly what I did. And Josh told me in a message that his son is already in love with it. And I just wanted to give Josh a shout out on the show and tell him congratulations. I know you're going to love it. And, I go to a car show every year in October down in Anderson. And if you stick to the show, or if you watch the show often, you'll see me talk about it. It's RPM car show in Anderson. I believe it's the first Saturday of the month. Some of my friends that I met at Camaro Fest in Bowling Green put the show on, her and her daughter and her husband, Diane. And it's a great show. And I actually won the first and only trophy that I ever won was with SICK 1LE, and it was at that show. And Josh, if you're watching, maybe I'll see you at that show this next year. Now, we're not going to try to rush the year. It's just January, so we don't want to already start talking about October. Maybe I'll meet you before that, Josh. But anyway, congratulations on purchasing the SS 1LE Camaro. I hope you enjoy it. Now, let's move on to the other thing that I wanted to talk about. And before I do that, I'm going to remove the screen share because I have to page through some photos that I don't want you to see. Not because I'm not going to show them, but I just don't want to show them yet. They're not really in order. So, as you know, I have a lot of friends that have Camaros because I'm part of the Northeastern Ohio Camaro Club, NEOCC. That's what we say for short because it's easier to say. But I met these two crazy dudes a year and a half ago now, I guess it is, Dale and Kim. And they have these two amazing Camaros. And this is a photograph of their cars set up at World of Wheels in Pittsburgh. How cool is that, right? Now, when I say these guys are serious, that's what I mean. They are really serious about car show stuff. They trailer these cars to the show. They shine them, they unload them, they shine them up, they put them on display, and they are like top-notch cars. Trust me, if you get a chance to see either one of these cars, you won't forget it. The black and with the orange stripes is a double Copo. The one on the left, Dale calls it Casper. Now, I wanted to tell you that they are great friends of mine, and I like hanging out with them. I call them the spoon and the spatula, because for a couple of old guys, they do like to stir up the pot, and this is Casper, a side view of Casper. I think Dale just had a new motor put in this car a couple months ago, and he hasn't even had a chance really to drive it other than loading it and unloading it for the car show. So I know he's excited. I'm excited to see it. And I wanted to tell them congratulations because they both brought home a trophy. And I think Kim got first place and Dale got third place, if I'm not mistaken. I have to zoom in on those photos to really see and understand what they say. Now, with that being said, again, I still haven't learned how to zoom in and out while I'm showing you a photograph when it's live. So I do need to get on the ball and figure that out, don't I? This is an up close, a picture or a photograph that's closer than the first one that I showed you. And if you look at this thing right down here, let me click that off. Okay, guess you can't. This little plaque down here, I kind of designed it and I made it. Now, it's not that special other than the fact that I made it, MusicMan's Garage, and I literally just put these together at the end of last year. And basically all it is a little piece of aluminum because I haul steel for a living. I thought it was kind of cool. I bought some stickers, 5-inch stickers from the NEOCC, and I made several of these. I have like 15 of them, I think. Hang on. All right, that's not going to work. I got one over there on my top of over my piano under my speaker, but I can't get it out of there without messing up. Anyway, so I wanted to show you these. If you are an NEOCC member and you're interested in these, actually Dale and Kim are the only two people that have purchased one yet so far. I had one auctioned off at a benefit, which was pretty cool. So I think I have like 12 or 13 of them left. If you're interested in one of these, make sure you give me a shout out, send me an email, put a comment in the description below, that sort of thing. I would be happy to make sure you get one of those. I think they're pretty cool. So it's also pretty cool to find out after the fact, or even realize with looking at photos, that these two top-notch guys that are really serious about showing their cars, that I call friends, obviously, in Pittsburgh, 2 states away, they have the plaque. I mean, it means something to me. I might not mean anything to you, but it kind of means, it's pretty special to me. So I wanted to show you that. Anyway, so those are my buddies at the show. And the other thing is I wanted to tell you is I have another friend actually that makes these show boards. And like if right down here, if you can watch my cursor, Car Show Life is the name of it, and he's going to make me a board for my Mr. Grinch. He was busy at the show. We haven't been able to lock in any sort of plan as of yet, but if you're looking for a show board for your car, for car shows, check out carshowlife.com, I believe it is. I will locate that and put it in the description below. Again, the little plaque that I made here, it's not to take away anything at all from what he does. I was only trying to make something for the NEOCC specifically, because you can actually take this and put it like up here on the grill, like, or I've set it up on the intake before. It's just basically a little plaque to show that you belong to that club. And I saw that actually a year and a half ago at the car show I was talking about earlier down by Anderson. I saw another club had those. And so I made them for the Northeastern Ohio Camaro Club. If you're interested, let me know. Now, moving right along. I have another friend that I want to introduce you to. And again, I'm going to close this off because I need to find the correct photograph. And this friend that I met him last year at Camaro Nationals, which was in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. No, that's not it. Here is a photograph of Camaro Nationals in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Now, I've got my little cursor here. I'm going to see if I can figure it out. I know that this green car right here belongs to a friend of mine in the club. I believe this third tent is the Northeastern Ohio Camaro Club, I believe. And I know this. I know the lady that owns this Nitro Yellow 24, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, this car right here is the car that I had out there for the Camaro Nationals, my SS1LE. Anyway, while I was there, I met a young man from Philadelphia, and he introduced me to, he was showing me some of the stuff that he does, and what he does is he has a special heat treat system that he does when he makes the car liners, that go under your hood for like a car show. And I'm going to show you this photograph right here he sent me. This is an illustration, or one of his clients. As you can see, this is the before photograph of the hood liner, and then this is the finished product. I have no idea who this guy is. I'm just showing you this photograph because Lawrence sent me this because I asked him for some photographs. Now, with that being said, Lawrence is going to do the I've already ordered it. He's going to do the hood liner and the trunk liner for the Mr. Grinch. I'm excited. Again, I've never done this before, but I want to take it. I want to take it up to the next level, and I really want to, have a show car because it looks like a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it also looks like a lot of fun. And the car that I bought, the 2SS RS Synergy Green Camaro, is phenomenal. Like, there's only 255 of them made with that platform. So I'm excited for the fact that I even have one. And I have tasked this young man. His name is Lawrence Halliday. He lives in Philadelphia, and this is his car. This is the car that he had out at the car show. When I met him, it's a convertible, bad to the bone, and he obviously this is his work. He calls this car Kratos. At nighttime, you should see the lights on this car. And he's serious about car shows. Now, he also does some other graphic design features and things like that. I don't know if he designed this coat that he has on, but I heard that I think in one of our discussions, he talked about he makes, like high school coats and things of that nature. So maybe he made that coat. I don't know. Again, I was so busy today, I didn't even have a chance to ask him when he sent me the photographs. But I wanted to show you that. This is the work that he does. Hood liners, before and after. This is him. And this is his car at a car show. And he also told me that at one point for some sort of festival at his church, he dressed up like the Grinch. And so, I mean, don't we already have like a straight up connection? Because he's going to do the hood liner for Mr. Grinch. Like, how cool is that? Now, I already have a copy, a photocopy of what it's going to look like, but I don't think I want to show you that on my live show. I think I want to wait until the finished product is done and then show it to you actually on the car. So I'm pretty stoked about having this, this young man do my graphics for me on Mr. Grinch so that I can go to car shows and I can soup up the car. Because like I said, I called him Mr. Grinch. That's pretty cool, right? Now, with that being said, I have some more good news. We're already a half hour into the show, and I have some other really terrific news. And that is, here locally in Fort Wayne, they started a couple years ago having a new show called the Fort Wayne Rod and Custom Show. Now, from what I understand, this show used to go on for a long time, and then for some reason they stopped doing the show. So a couple years ago, somebody decided to go ahead and start doing it again. And I think this is the third year. The first year that they had it, I had my 2SS Collector's Edition Camaro, the Panther, and I called them up and I said, hey, this is the car I have, and do you have a spot? And they said, unfortunately, you called us too late. The car show's full. We have no more spots. And these people have cars from all over the country come in. So the theme, I guess they have a theme, and the theme this year is the Mopar. So they're going to have a lot of Mopar there. And they even, from what I understand, got more space this year, a little bit more space, because they were filling it up. The last 2 years they filled it up. And guess what? Mr. Grinch got into the car show. So officially on this day, Friday, March the 27th through the 29th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Mr. Grinch is going to be set up in the Coliseum here in Fort Wayne. So make sure you mark your calendars and come out and meet Mr. Grinch. Now, I do have a lot of work to do to get him ready for a car show. And if I don't get everything done, don't scream at me. I'm a beginner. I'm going to try to do the best I can to make him look top notch. And I think my alarm clock is getting ready to go off, which means that I'm going to have to, step aside for a minute just to, I have to, clock out. Basically, I got done at 7:30, but I get an hour lunch and breaks, and I tacked that on to the end of my day so I could come home and start my live show. So I think that my alarm clock may go off in a minute, but give me a second. It actually, I guess it didn't go off because I am, I guess I was using my phone for the show, and if you bear with me for a minute, I'm just going to go ahead and clock off real quick off them and make sure that I get that done. Take me a second. Yeah, so, wow. How many hours have you guys worked in the last 2 days? According to this, I've worked 26 hours in 2 days. So, wow. Anyway, back to the show. Sorry about that. I don't know if it'll come back on or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe if I click on it, it'll work. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not worried about it. So let's talk about the other stuff. There we go. That's my phone. And there's Mr. Grinch. Say hi to Mr. Grinch back there. See, I can't even point right because I lost my where I'm at. Anyway, I wanted to just get on here and tell you the exciting news about that. Like, I'm so stoked that I get to actually do an inside show. Now, as you can see, if you look at some of these cars back here, they have them in there, like they're packed in there pretty close, and they have, some of them are roped off, but some of the other rooms they're literally so crammed in there that there's like no space in between. So I'm not sure, I know that I probably won't have my own spot where it's just me and it's just me roped off like I've seen in the show that I showed you earlier, the photo I showed you earlier. But I am so excited because I've never done this before. I've never done car show. I've been to car shows and I've had my car there under what you call show and shine, but I've never done an actual car show where I entered it in to be judged. So that is a whole brand new thing for me. And luckily for me, I have a lot of friends that know the ins and outs of that. And I'm looking forward to maybe hooking up with Diane and her husband and her daughter and being like, hey, can you tell me what I'm supposed to look at? And then, of course, I've got, Andrew and Tonya from Camaro Cave. They've already been through all that. They've done it all before. They know what's up. And then, of course, I've got other friends in the NEOCC that are currently doing it. And they're winning first and second and third prize, fourth prize, whatever. So I'm hanging out with these people. Now it's time for me to step up my game and see what it's like to have a car in a car show. So I'm looking forward to that. And, there's really not a whole lot going on. I just recently put out, a couple of days ago, I put out a video. I went over to Ohio and they got like 25 or 26 Corvettes over there at Bud Chevrolet. Make sure you check that video out and if you get a chance. And yeah, it's winter. So January, February, it's really tough. But then, we have March to look forward to. Even though it's like the last weekend of March, we still have that to look forward to. It's an inside show. Obviously, they're already doing World of Wheels, I guess they call it. And that's something that goes on several different big cities. Like, I think last weekend was Pittsburgh. Well, I know it was. And then I don't know if it's this week or next week. They go up to Detroit. And then, like, then I think Cleveland, and then maybe after that Cincinnati, and I also know that there's something big going on up in Chicago. I don't know the exact dates, but I know there's a big car show going on in February up in Chicago. Also, the International Motorcycle Show in Chicago at Rosemont, that happens every year. I've been to that several times. It's pretty cool. But it's going to be pretty different and pretty cool at the same time for me to be able to try this. I don't know about sitting there for 3 days. I'll probably, as you know, last year I did a live from there, it ended up being pretty cool that I did the live. But when I was doing the live, when I was on the main floor, everybody could, see and hear what I was talking about. And then when I went down in the basement, because of all the concrete down underneath all that, the signal was really bad, and I lost part of my show. And I'm hoping that I don't get put in the basement, or I hope Mr. Grinch doesn't get put in the basement, because I may not even be able to, go live down there and show you Mr. Grinch on display. I don't know. But if you don't have anything on your calendar at this point for March the 27th through the 29th, make sure you mark your calendar, because I'm excited, and I'm excited to bring Mr. Grinch out. I hope to have a few things done to him before that car show. I don't know if I'll be able to line it all up in time or not, but I am hoping to try to get that all done. Now, with that being said, I am at almost 40 minutes, and I wanted to tell you that even in the midst of having a crazy, hectic, busy life and trying to make it through a 14 inches of snow in Fort Wayne that we got on Sunday, and trying to suffer through the cold and being up and down off the semi with 6 layers of clothes on and 3 hats and 2 pair of gloves, and 2 pair of socks. I mean, I'm already a big guy. When you put another 20 pounds of clothes on me, I'm just like dragging. So I'm tired. That's exactly the reason why I schedule a vacation every year in March or April, so I can go to the beach and sit on the beach and, get some vitamin D and relax. That's always the plan. Now, it's kind of something that I want to talk to you real quick before I sign off. And if you've made it this far in the show, I appreciate you listening to me talk about things that interest me. You also know from watching my show and watching my videos that I do not hide at all what I believe. I believe that I'm a sinner saved by grace because of Jesus Christ died for me on the cross. Now, I'm not going to sit here and preach you a big sermon. I'm not going to do all that. But I will say, today I found out that one of my cousins that had a major car accident on the 13th of January, I found out today that she went on to be with Jesus. Now, the only reason I'm saying this on my show is the fact that this show is all about cars and trucks and motorcycles and having cool cars and whatever. But I just want to make sure that you know that she was like, I don't know for a fact, but I think she was like 53 or 54 years old. And she had an accident in her pickup truck and did not make it. So the only thing I want to say before I sign off is make sure that you understand that life is precious. Life it's short compared to eternity. Make sure you're ready to meet Jesus. And I just wanted to say that because it's heavy on my heart. My little cousin lost her life in a accident in her truck. So I'm not trying to, bring gloom and doom to my show or anything like that. But I did want to tell you that, because of my religious beliefs, it's important that you figure out what's important. Even though our cars are cool, in the end, you can't take them with you. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day and be safe. Like, be safe in this weather. Be safe in this cold. And for crying out loud, I have one more thing to say. This is just coming from a truck driver's standpoint, okay? If you're retired and you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. If all you have on your schedule is to go to the doctor, do us all a favor for your safety and for our sanity. Don't drive 20 mile an hour with your four-ways on to the doctor. Reschedule it. Anyway, I know I'm weird and I have a weird sense of humor, but thanks for hanging out with me today on Shop Talk, and I will see you in 2 weeks. It looks like I'm going to be going to Oklahoma next week to spend it with my family during this time of loss. So you guys have a great night, and thanks for hanging out with me tonight on Shop Talk. I'm out.